Good evening, I'm Cole Hartman, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Earlier today, Troy Dannen was formally introduced as athletic director at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Following the introduction, a press conference was held to address the media. In Dannen's opening remarks, he commented on what it means to win at Nebraska.
And I talked about winning in there. When people put as much time, effort, and energy into being as good as they can be, they deserve to win. They want to win academically, they want to win socially. They're committing time that as a college student I never would have imagined I'd have been capable of doing in order to have success. That's why the 335 or 355 people rather in this department have one commitment. And it is not to put themselves in a position to succeed, but it's to put those athletes in a position to succeed. We know what they do. The time, dedication, effort they give is something special. So when I come here because this is a place I know you can win. I know we can resource them. I know we can recruit them. I know we're going to be able to retain them, but we're going to be able to have success.
Coming up on the show, we'll hear more from the AD's press conference. It was announced this morning that tonight's midweek baseball game between Nebraska and Kansas State has been canceled due to forecasted cold weather in Manhattan. The Huskers now look to open Big Ten play this weekend as they travel to Northwestern for a 3-game series Friday through Sunday. As always, you can listen in to the action on many of our Huskers Radio Network affiliates or online at huskers.com. And finally, Nebraska men's basketball player Blaise Keita entered his name into the transfer portal today. Keita missed all of the 2023-24 season as he rehabbed an off-season ankle surgery. He is the third Husker from the team to enter the portal following the season, joining freshmen Ramel Lloyd Jr. and Eli Rice. As it stands now, there are 4 open scholarships for the 2024-25 team. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is coming up next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Lifted to right, and drifting over near the line is Williams, and looking up, and it is gone! Wind blows it right out of here. It's a grand slam for Will Walsh. It's 5-0 Big Red.
With Ravel as Andrews swings and lifts it right field and deep. Riano going back to the wall. It's gone! Home run, Billy Andrews! And that's the new record. She is the all-time home run queen at the University of Nebraska.
Now the 2-2 from Sears. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 7 will end the 8th inning for Brett Sears, and he has gone 8 innings here on a Saturday afternoon.
The pitch from Chambers. Cope golfs one to center and deep. Going back Delgadillo, and it's gone! 3-run home run, Emerson Cope. Make it 5-2 Nebraska.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
We didn't think we would be here tonight. We thought we'd have some baseball in Manhattan. I'm kind of dressed for a ball game, but it got canceled this morning. Just too cold to play that game. I know the two sides are trying to find an alternate date to make up the game. That's kind of hard to do. Your schedule's kind of set in stone from here on out. They're going to search and see if they can come to a common ground. That would have been one of the better matchups in the country tonight. You got K-State winners of 9 straight. They got ranked yesterday. The Huskers have won 7 in a row, and they're just outside the poll. So that's too bad that game did not happen tonight. But hey, you got us for the next 2 hours.
Yeah, we'll try to fill in.
Right?
That would have been big for the RPI too, right?
And we play them here. They come back up here, but to play them on the road and get a chance maybe for a road win would have been nice. But hey, you can't. It is cold out there. I mean, if anybody's been outside today, that wind's got a bite to it, and I certainly understand that off. So the week of playing the Purple Cats will continue. Nebraska will be in Chicago against Northwestern for the weekend series starting at 3 o'clock on Friday. And the weather looks decent. It'll be cloudy, mid-50s up there, so we should be able to get games in over the weekend. Big day here at the stadium as Troy Dannen was officially announced as Nebraska's 17th athletic director. And he even described it as kind of a whirlwind couple of weeks, and Chris Kaborik got up, the interim president, and did the introduction and said, wow, it's just been, he goes, I've been down in my foxhole for the last couple of weeks, and you just never know with college sports. He said, I didn't expect to get the phone call that I did on March the 13th and all of a sudden needing to find an athletic director. But he said, I was really, and he said this to us a week or so ago, he was really impressed by the amount of interest that this job had. And why not? You're in the Big Ten, and Nebraska's financially in good shape, and we've got teams that are winning right now. I think it's a very attractive job.
Great roster of coaches, and the fan support is unmatched. And I mean, you could go down the list of what makes this job attractive. And I mean, Troy Dannen told me that when I sat down with him in Memphis about you list off all the things that you want in a job, and everything that you want, Nebraska has it. But then you throw on top of that it's Nebraska.
Right.
And it's everything that you want, and you just can't say no. And we're going to hear a story about how he said you don't say no to Nebraska.
Yeah. And you know, he said, growing up in Iowa, he was very well aware of that. He grew up in a farm right outside of Marshalltown. So obviously when you're in the state of Iowa, you hear a lot about Big Red. And he grew up, he graduated college in the late 80s. So he would have been a young professional in the 90s when obviously Husker football was at the top of the heap. And so he certainly heard a lot about that. And that's where he got to know Fred Hoiberg, because when he got out of college, he started doing some high school reffing, and Fred was a superstar high school athlete over there and ref some of his games. So that's where they kind of, I don't know that they really became acquainted, but they knew of each other, I think, because of that connection.
Yeah, and that's always good to have. And, you know, I think it's been just such a whirlwind, and he got right on a plane and flew to Memphis.
Good for him, right?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Amy Williams about that. You'll hear from it coming up. I mean, I think that's important, and it shows a lot of. He could have said, hey, you know what, I need to get settled in, but no, he wanted to make that effort and try to get to everywhere. He just spoke to a group. I actually just walked in the door from that. He spoke to a group of donors just recently, and Chris Kaborik was actually mentioning, oh, this is what we're going to do. We got to get out to basketball, then we're going to come back, we're going to watch baseball, softball, and he goes, little did we know that there's going to be a blizzard here.
Snow going
but he
on.
had plans to go to baseball, softball. I mean, he was going to get to everybody that he could this weekend, and he hadn't even been here a week, and I think that speaks volumes, that he wants to show, hey, I'm going to be here, I'm going to support you in any way I can.
He said this was kind of a destination job, and we'll let him say in his own words why he left Washington so quick, because he took the Washington job over the summer. So he was there less than a year, and obviously our fan base is still smarting from the fact that the previous AD was only here 2.5 years. And so you're kind of going, can we get somebody and settle in? He does address that. We'll let him come out of his own mouth and later on when we got some clips from the press conference, because he did get asked that particular question. He talked about amazing facilities. He talked about being a bit of a snowplow. That he goes, my job is to get out in front and plow things out of the way like you would on a country road, on a big snowstorm, clear the path. I think he kind of used that reference to Matt Rural, but my job is to clear the path for him and let him go do his job. Very complimentary, obviously, of the head football coach, and Matt certainly was of him a week ago when he talked about the hire. I think it's pretty big. It's obvious that football is the big driver of every athletic department. You better have some pretty good working relations between those two positions.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, Troy Dannen told me during that interview, he said he thinks that Matt Rule's the best football coach in the country, and it will prove itself, and that, you know, that was one of the attractions, was to be able to work with Matt Rule. But I said this last night, if Coach Rule signed off on a candidate to take over as the leader of Nebraska athletics, he's not doing it just for Nebraska football, because we've heard and seen some of those relationships that have developed for him, and how much those other programs, how much has he spoke so highly of Mark Manning and Nebraska wrestling, with Nash competing for Husker wrestling here in the spring. I mean, Coach Rule was there in the fan line rooting on the Husker men's basketball team as they got onto the bus to play in the NCAA tournament. He's there, you know, in the send-off for the team from the hotel. He's there, you know, and he's, how many games did he go to that he's firing up the crowd, that he's in the stands, and, you know, he takes his recruits there.
Court storming.
So, yeah, I mean, he stormed the court when they beat Purdue. The list goes on and on. He's been to gymnastics, and he's a big supporter and advocate for all the sports. And so for him, he wouldn't sign off on someone that wasn't going to be good for every program, not just his, is what I'm trying to get at. As I think he truly does care about well-being and the direction that's headed for the entire athletics department, not just Husker football.
Well, and I think that's been a big part of the Go Big project. Every athlete's going to use that Go Big project. Yes, it's primarily the football facility. It'll be the football offices. Their weight room is in there. But every athlete will go in there. They'll go in there to eat. That's where the new training table will be. That's where they're going to go see their academic advisors. That's where it's going to be in that building right there when it gets officially finally open here this spring and summer. So, the worry is if the guy that hires you leaves, you worry. Everybody worries. And I think Matt Rule even made the comment, he goes, I got mad at some national people calling me when the previous AD left saying, all right, are you on the market now? He's like, no, I love this place. But I think then it was big that he had an input, and he certainly did have an input on his hiring.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we heard him say how invested they are in this community. They feel really good about what they've put in place here with the Husker football. I think they have the foundation that they laid last year. I mean, we heard him say that it takes him some time. He said, give me some time, right? And he's shown that when he turns around programs, and it takes a little bit to build. And so why would he just want to start back over when he loves the foundation that he's built here at Nebraska? So, but yeah, I think absolutely that working relationship's really important, and just having a pulse on, because a lot of times if there's an issue affecting the football program, it's no doubt affecting
trickles down
every program. If there's some sort of issue that it pertains to football, then there's no doubt it's going to be pertaining to other programs. And so, yeah, I mean, and I think I heard a coach one time say that sometimes when changes are made, a lot of times they watch with the football across the country what that does first before the other sports make the changes, just to see how it's going to work. And so, yeah, I mean, every sport here is important and is followed and supported, and that's important to be successful across the board. But football is the driver, and it's an important, so to have that relationship between the football coach and AD is absolutely critical.
Chris Kaborg did say that he leaned a lot on Coach Worrell during the process, leaned a lot on him. He said he leaned a lot. Even Governor Pillen got involved in that. And Governor Pillen's got skin in the game. He played here. I mean, when you're a former athlete and you played here, you've put your time in, and you want the program to be good, and so that was all important. We've got a lot of clips from not Coach Dannen, but Troy Dannen's press conference from earlier today. We carried on the network the part that was available to the public, where we heard from Chris Kaborg, we heard from Rob Schaefer, we heard from Governor Pillen, and then about a 15-minute talk from Troy Dannen to that group. That was staff that was in there. There were coaches that were in there. Jessica was in that room as well, and then he went over to the Hawks Championship Media Center and held the press conference. We'll play you the highlights from the press conference coming up here in a little bit. Jessica also caught up with Coach Williams. She was there at the announcement today, get her thoughts about her new boss, Maddie Fowler-Burkhart, who works in the development office, also part of our broadcast team for Husker softball. Obviously, she'll be working closely with the new AD. We'll get her take on all that and more coming up in hour number 2. And hey, by the way, practice number 2 took place today. Husker football went through their second practice this morning, did not have media availability afterwards, but last week, Jessica had a chance to catch up with Jahmal Banks. Now, this kid is making a lot of waves. This is the wide receiver transfer from Wake Forest, and Coach Worrell has mentioned him numerous times about how impressed they have been with Jahmal, that he was like on the top of their leaderboard for their events attended and all that. It looks like he's completely bought in. Really talented player as well, and should be a nice help for that young wide receiver room. Looking forward to that conversation coming up in the second hour. But how about 2 practices are gone now in spring ball?
I feel like it just goes by so fast. Here we are, and then when it crosses over, and it's how many are there total?
15.
15.
With the game being number 15.
So it's crazy.
Their third one is Thursday. And there is media availability Thursday. Coach Worrell will talk to the media after that. And that'll be great to see what he has to say after 3 practices in the books for the Huskers. All right, that's what we have on the program tonight. Phone lines, text lines wide open. I'm sure a lot of you either listened in to his meeting with the staff and all that earlier today, or in the official handing off of the jerseys to his family. And I thought it was great that his family was there as well. His wife and a couple of his kids were there. Some of his kids are in college or even beyond, and they were not able to make it back. But I thought that was cool that some of his family members, including his wife, Amy, was in attendance today. But we'd love to hear your thoughts. Maybe you something tweaked your interest with what he said either there or at the press conference. We'll get into all that coming up a little bit later. 402-413-2400. That is our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline. They are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. We're back with some comments from the press conference next.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker black shirt and CEO of Teammates Mentoring.
We are recruiting teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week at the school can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
That's the best way I could describe how it felt for me when I would walk out of either the casino or the Keno parlor, is that you just felt that wave of heat, that wave of oppression kind of hit you, that wave of dread.
Mike is a former problem gambler.
Right away, you would always know that that drive home would be the worst moments of why. Why did I do this again? Why can't I stop this?
Help for problem gambling is free for Nebraskans and their families at lifeafterbet.com.
Woodhouse Cadillac, where luxury meets performance. Discover the seamless blend of design, innovation, and power as you explore the 2024 Cadillac lineup. Lease a 2024 Cadillac XT4 Luxury for $519 a month for 39 months, 10,000 miles per year with approved credit. Must finance with Cadillac Financial. $2,500 down payment plus first payment and $299 document fee due at signing. Offer expires April 30th, 2024. See dealer for details.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Are you ready? It's Ford Truck Month, and we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series, including the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the North American Truck of the Year. It's time to celebrate America. This is Ford Truck Month. Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on F-150 plus a 5-year 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
I just remember leaving that day feeling absolutely exhausted. I was sick and tired of living that double life.
Mike is a former problem gambler.
The anxiety, the depression is real. You start thinking about the money, where that could have went to. It's never enough. I could win $10 million today, and I'd go back and try to win 20 tomorrow.
Help for problem gambling is free for Nebraskans and their families at lifeafterbet.com. lifeatlife.com.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Back inside our Acres Broadcast Center, they are the sponsor of this beautiful facility we broadcast from every night. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you here on this Tuesday night. We're supposed to have a show tonight. We're supposed to have baseball from Manhattan, but the cold temperatures canceled the game. The two sides are trying to find an alternative date, but I'm not holding my breath for that to happen. The Cats do come up to Lincoln for a visit later on in April. Hopefully it's much warmer by then. All right, after meeting and kind of being introduced and handed the jerseys and all the pomp and circumstance of that, the new athletic director, Troy Dannen, did go over to the Hawks Media Center and had about a 35-minute press conference. And so we're going to go back and play you some clips of that. He was asked, what are your observations from afar about the Husker football program and the struggles that the program has had in recent times?
You ask yourself the internal question, why not? And I don't know that. I do know, though, why. I do know the model of what it takes for success. Part of the attraction of this particular job at this particular time is to work with Matt. I've known him for a while. I respect him. Here's the thing about Coach Rule that I really admired at Temple. Nobody ever won the week after they played Temple. Nobody ever won. They were physical. They were tough. You knew it was going to be the most physical game of the year. And that's Big Ten football. I've seen him win at two different places where he came in and when I say built it from scratch, but I don't know if it was from scratch as much as turn it quickly. And when he was hired, I even said this to Trev, put that guy in this gold mine and great things are going to happen. And so, I don't know as much, or frankly, do I even care about maybe the why not? I care about the why now and what can happen. And, part of it, Matt and I have talked a little bit. We're going to be attached to the hip for a while because I need to know what he needs from me in this department in order to succeed. My job, and I told this analogy at different places, nobody gets it, but I'm a Midwest snowplow. My job is to be out in front, plowing things out of the way so they can run uninterrupted behind me. And when I say me, I mean the department. I represent 335 people that work in the department. So get obstacles out of the way so they can succeed. And it's Matt's job, and I've told him this already, it's his job to identify the obstacles, and we'll get them out of the way.
It kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about how, it isn't just about the football program, and Coach Rule does understand and have a good relationship with a lot of the coaches here, that he can have those conversations with Troy Dannen. What do we need to do? Where are we going? What do you need to know? And so, but just having that already built-in relationship that he can trust him and go to him and they can have those kinds of conversations certainly is got to feel good for Coach Rule, but also for Coach Dannen. Now I did it. You did it earlier.
Yeah,
now
I did.
For Troy Dannen, that he has someone that, he already has a familiarity with, that he can really dive into and really get to know what is needed from him as he starts this new job.
That question's one of those trick questions about, well, you're from a distance. Why is this program not won? Why has this failed on Saturdays in the fall for a decade? That's a trap. And he's like, I don't care about that. I care about the why. Or why not? Let's go. So he didn't fall into the negative trap. He says, I'm here to go forward with this. I love that. I love the fact he kind of spun it and just went the other way.
Well, and he obviously has made it very clear he thinks that Matt Rule can get it done.
Right.
And so, he's got someone in place now that he believes can absolutely win here, and he's already knows the roster of coaches that he has, and he is very well aware of the trajectory that this place is on, and he doesn't want to do anything to hinder that, just continue to propel it forward. So for him, it doesn't even matter looking back at this point, because all he knows is what he's getting into now, and right now it's looking pretty good, and they're on a right path, and how can we keep it moving forward?
He did say he talked to Coach Rule before he accepted the job, and so the question he was asked was, what was that conversation like? What did you discuss when you talked before you told President Kabork you would take the job?
I talked a little bit to Matt about what he needs in a partner. And your coaches in this enterprise, when it's a $100 million enterprise in football, within the bigger enterprise of the department, he and I have to be great partners. I got to work for him. I've got to advocate for him, and I've got to champion him. I've got to champion his players. I've got to champion his program. And what does he need? Because we have the same end goal in mind. It's add another trophy to the trophy case. I don't know what that path is. He does. And so it's his job to put me on that path. And then there'll be times when I can contribute to him and help him. I'd just be another set of eyes. But I don't know whether we should play odd or even fronts. I can't help him in that way. But I do know how to navigate the landscape. I do know that if recruitment and retention of players is priority number one for him, it's priority number one for me. So I think it's what I learned. I've known Matt long enough. I thought we could be good partners. But also, and I told him this, if he's not completely comfortable with me, tell me, and I won't be a part of this. Because I want him to succeed. I considered him a friend before I came here. I'll consider him a friend someday down the line. I want him to succeed. And so I needed to know that he was good with me as much as I was going to be good with him.
Coach will pray that.
Wow.
Enjoy that conversation.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there.
He's so real, it seems like, and just, it's not just, hey, I'm saying all these right things. And he truly, you feel like he's convicted and believes the things that he's saying.
He's not,
he's
not trying to spin you.
Right. It's not like some smoke and mirrors. It's just to his core. And that's what I kept hearing over and over again today at the first initial introduction with the staff, and then at this event that we just went to, that people really just, just chatting with him and how genuine he is, and to his core how much he believes what he's saying, and he doesn't want to get in the way. He just wants to be an asset. And to me, I think that bodes well. I think that's a good start. And I believe everything he's saying. Like, I'm ready to run through a brick wall. I believe what he's saying. For me, I'm like, it's off to a good start. Now, I know there's a lot of work ahead, and he'll be the first to say that. There's a lot of things he's got to dive into, a lot of questions he's going to have to answer and figure out and work through, but I think he's off to a really great start.
Fantastic. All right. I think one of the concerns by the fan base and some of the questions we've heard in the last week is, man, this guy was only at his last job like 8 months. And that's true. He was. Very short tenure at Washington, but he had been at Tulane for 8 years before that, and he had been at UNI, his alma mater, Northern Iowa, for quite a while before that. So those two stops were lengthy. So he got asked that question today. Nebraska's coming out of an athletic director who was only here 2.5 years. He got asked, are you in this for the long haul?
Say this, I've had 4 jobs. I spent 17 years at the High School Association in Des Moines in Iowa. Spent 8 at Northern Iowa. I spent 8 at Tulane, almost 8 at Tulane. The stint at Washington was as much about Nebraska as it was about Washington. I could have stayed at Washington forever if Nebraska had not called. And so, the why, and people can worry about that. Number one, and this is a transfer portal related response. A lot of my job the last couple of years has been reminding everybody that it is about this. It is not about this. Players come and go. Coaches come and go. Athletic directors come and go. But it is about this, the name on the front, and reminding them of that. Number two, and one of the things, and we haven't talked about this, but I suggested to Chris, I asked that my buyout be different. I wanted my buyout to be every dollar that was left on the contract. That doesn't happen. But, you know, for the people who want to question commitment, I wanted to make sure I showed my own financial commitment to the fact that I wanted to be here. You know, I'm 57. I didn't think I had another move when I went to Washington. I didn't go to Washington to move. But coming here, you know, it's more than locale. And the people and the place is a lot of this. But when you put people, place, and the ability to do everything that you aspire to do professionally, there just aren't other places.
Gotta love that answer. And for those that had that question, because that has been the question, and I know that that's been a concern, but answered it right there. And he's been at the jobs that he's been at, he's been there a long time. And he even told me that it was hard for him to leave Tulane. But I don't know. To me, I think people should look at that as a compliment that, hey, it's Nebraska. I can't turn Nebraska down. Like, this is where I want to be. Wouldn't you say, too, I mean, I don't know, well, if you had an option, wouldn't you pick Nebraska over Washington?
I would, particularly if I'm from this part of the country.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. He even mentioned, I think he has a daughter who's pregnant, and so she lives in Des Moines, so now he's going to be able to zip over there and see the baby and be close to a grandchild and that type of thing. I mean, that just kind of makes life sense for you to do that. And that was a terrific answer. That was really well done. And it's more about Nebraska than it was about Washington. Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, and it wasn't like he was leaving Washington high and dry. He would have stayed there had it not been Nebraska. I mean, there's probably a list of
a handful of schools,
3 or 4 schools that he would have left Washington for, and Nebraska is one of those. I don't even know if it's 3.
Might be less than that. Might be 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Well, one obvious difference between Troy and his predecessor is wrapping his arms around NIL. This raised some eyebrows today. That was something that Trev, I don't think, was very comfortable with. We never really talked much about it, even on our athletic director shows. Troy is way out in front on that. He is a big supporter of NIL and the collective that's already in place here in Lincoln. Here's his response about the NIL and collectives.
Because the number one commitment to success is to the student athlete. And as I mentioned, you know, in the day, that might have been providing a strength coach. In the day, that might have been a laptop. In the day, that might have been a coach who was going to prepare them for the next level. In the day. Today's day is there is a sharing of resources with the student athletes. And so if we're going to compete, if we're going to recruit and retain, everybody in this department has to support what lies ahead for student athletes to be a part of the economic model of this. Today, it's NIL. Tomorrow, it's going to be something different, and we will pivot and evolve into that. But so it would not, I would be missing if I tried to avoid the reality of what the name of the game is today. There are a lot of things. I joke when I went to Tulane, there are no such thing as a transfer portal. Nobody ever contemplated NIL. There was no such thing as a lot of what we're dealing with today. So I will be beside and embrace everybody in the collective and try to make sure our athletes and our coaches know the role of the collective in helping them do their job and helping build winning programs and helping the student athletes benefit from the revenue that's driven by this enterprise.
You have to embrace it at this point.
You do.
And you're going to lose players if you don't have that, and you're going to be able to bring players in if you have it. I mean, we're sitting here talking about a big 3 of men's basketball that could potentially launch a program into a top 25 to start next season. How do you retain those top 3? Because you don't think a lot of other places in the country are coming in offering. It's just how it is now.
It is.
And so you have to be prepared to be able to handle that and retain the players that you need. And, you know, it's part of it now, and you have to be able to be forward thinking about it and embrace it and do whatever you can to help these coaches move forward. And it's not just about football. I mean, all the sports now are having this conversation about how they can bring in and retain those student athletes.
From Matt Rule to Amy Williams to Fred Hoiberg, they're all cheering that conversation right there, because I think they have felt like they have not been supported enough in that vein the last couple of years. And they don't love the way it's kind of set up, but they know that to succeed, you better wrap your arms around it and do it until something else is figured out to move it forward. So that was a big thing there. We'll leave you with this last one. He was asked about Can he sense the passion of the fan base? Because he was in Memphis for the men's tournament. He was in Corvallis for the women's tournament on Sunday. Here was his response about the passion that he's already detected from the fans.
Boy, my eyes were open. I walked into a restaurant. Chris, we were in this restaurant having barbecue the afternoon before the game, and if there were 200 people in there, 175 were wearing Nebraska red. Fan bases make stuff happen. We can put all the good people and all the, but I call it the give a darn factor. The give a darn factor has to be high. And sometimes that means people get out of shape pretty quick when things don't go their way. So be it. It sure beats them not caring. And so that passion, again, if I need a reaffirmation, it's there. But how proud people were of their teams and of their university and of their program. That stood out to me in both places. You know, I will say, and you will hear me say this a lot over time, I want you to be proud. And we're going to lose a game. I still want you to be proud of the program because of who's coaching it, who's playing in those games, and who they are. And the fact that it's yours. I want you to be proud of it. Man, I saw a lot of pride and a lot of passion and a lot of caring. And if I'd seen more balls go in the hole, I might have seen 2 wins. You know, we just didn't shoot well, right? Both games. But I really liked the coaches. It was pretty neat for me to go, even though I kind of have known Amy, and it's been a long time since I've connected personally with Fred, to be able to go to NCAA tournaments and maybe have your first interaction with them at the national championship event was pretty cool.
I know it meant a lot to both the programs that he was there and showed up, but I think he truly is. It's not just about, when I'd asked him about the coaching staff or whatever, and he mentioned Mark Manning, about how big of a fan he is of Mark, and he loves wrestling. He said, I love wrestling. And, Coach Cook, he being in Iowa, Northern Iowa, boy, he was a big admirer of Coach Cook and what he did with the volleyball program. He's invested in all of the sports, and he cares about all of them, and he's going to be at a lot of those sporting events supporting those coaches. But, you talk about signing on to a job as an AD. And I've said this too, I think I said this the day that we had found out the news about Trev and we didn't know that Troy Dannen was coming, that I wasn't necessarily as concerned, just because when you have the coaches that are here, ultimately, that are leading those programs, that's so important when you talk about a success of a program. And we have these coaches that have been here, and you believe in this coaching, the roster of coaches that are here, and they had all been through an athletics director change before, some of them multiple. It had to also be one of those, check the boxes part that, hey, you've got this roster of coaches that you get to come in and work with, and you don't have to maybe navigate through making a bunch of changes there on that front.
He said his first sit down with a head coach is tomorrow, John Cook. So he's heading over to the Devaney Center to meet with Coach Cook. Speaking of coaches, Amy Williams was at the event earlier today. Jessica caught up with her. We'll have that conversation next.
It's Ford Truck Month, and we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series, including the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the North American Truck of the Year. It's time to celebrate, America. This is Ford Truck Month. Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on F-150 plus a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Don't miss out on limited time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 1/4 through 1/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
Are you ready? It's Ford Truck Month, and we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series, including the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the North American Truck of the Year. It's time to celebrate, America. This is Ford Truck Month. Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on F-150 plus a 5-year 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
That's the best way I could describe how it felt for me when I would walk out of either the casino or the Keno parlor, is that you just felt that wave of heat, that wave of oppression kind of hit you, that wave of dread.
Mike is a former problem gambler.
Right away, you would always know that that drive home would be the worst moments of why. Why did I do this again? Why can't I stop this?
Help for problem gambling is free for Nebraskans and their families at lifeafterbet.com.
Visit Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram during Ram Truck Month and save on the entire lineup of trucks. Shop the rugged and confident 2024 Ram 1500 and enjoy best-in-class towing and an array of tech features designed for whatever journey comes your way. Get up to $11,000 off MSRP on all in-stock 2024 Ram 1500 Crew Cab Laramies. Your trusted Ram dealer since 1991. This is Woodhouse. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 4/1/2024. See dealer for details.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. We did not think we would be here tonight. We thought we had baseball from Manhattan, but the cold temperatures canceled that game, so no baseball tonight for the Cornhuskers. Their next game is Friday afternoon in Evanston, Illinois, against Northwestern with a 3 o'clock start. We've been talking about Troy Dannen, who was officially named athletic director today. He met and had the official handover of the baton, so to speak, in front of staff, and a lot of Husker coaches were in attendance for that part of it. And Jessica caught up with one of those, being Husker women's coach Amy Williams.
All right, well, I know it always takes a minute to process the end of a season, and it always sad and heartbreaking when a team closes a chapter, but how proud are you of this group and what they were able to accomplish this season?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm still in a little bit of denial. I just, with all of the end of season hugs that were going on in the locker room, I had to kind of avoid it. I'm not ready to put that closure on yet. It's such a special group. I'm so incredibly proud, and this team that continued to fight for each other. all the way to the end of the season, and just a really, really special team, and I'm sure going to miss coaching this group.
When you talk about building a program and for the future, how important was it to get that first NCAA tournament win and know what it takes to advance in the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something it's incredibly important to prove to ourselves that we belong on that stage. We can win games in that tournament and continue to advance. It's a step in the right direction, and certainly we want more for this program, but I think the players that were on this team poured into elevating the expectations for our program, and we were able to do that, and now we're going to continue to raise that bar.
So amidst all of the postseason, a new athletics director is hired. Troy Dannen was in Memphis, and then he is trying to figure out how he can get to Oregon. What did it mean to you and your group, your program, that he wanted to be there? He hadn't even been here for a week, and he wanted to make sure and be there for you guys.
Yeah, just really special to our team, our student athletes, to see that kind of commitment and effort made to be there to support us in one of our biggest moments as a program. But I think it's a clear indicator that he's willing to put in the work and to do whatever needs to happen to put our student athletes first.
I know you'll continue to have conversations with him, but what have you liked so far about what he'll bring to the table here at Nebraska?
Yeah, I'm just excited about the leadership and the vision that he has, and most importantly, the way that he's proven to prioritize the student athletes.
For you personally, you got a raise also. What does it mean to you that this athletics department, that they continue to believe and trust in your vision and where you're taking this program?
Well, Jess, I'm just so honored to be the head coach at the University of Nebraska. I just feel so grateful to be leading this program, and for the belief that they've shown in me and our coaching staff that we can continue to elevate this program and move it forward.
All right, what's next? What do you do now?
Yeah, it's the busy time of year, and so certainly lots of meetings, lots of recruiting, lots of just planning for the off season, and so I'm excited for it.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Jess.
Yeah, before we started recording, she's like, "Oh yeah, it's just right on to the next." Like you can't even really process, because now you got to hit the portal. They have meetings up at the Final Four, so they'll travel. They'll go up to. They have a lot of things that surround the Final Four for both men's and women's, but a lot of the coaches go up there. But they need to target in the portal. I think they'll be open about that. They need to get a few pieces, because you're losing a few to go along with some of those young players that you got coming in and coming back. So it is right back to the grind. There's no rest for the weary at this point.
No, there isn't. It's really changed the basketball coaches, because when your season was over, you had a chance for a couple weeks to kind of breathe and step back and analyze your season and have your post-season meetings with your players. But now the portal has completely opened it up, and you have to look at it, and you may not find a fit, but you may find somebody that's perfect for what you want to do, and somebody maybe you recruited 2 years ago and didn't get, but had a good relationship. But yeah, they used to be able to just push away, and go, okay, I got 3 weeks to relax. I'll go.
When there's like a dead period for recruiting, but nope.
But not now.
Nope.
It's crazy.
You got to, and those players that are in the portal right now are getting hit up by a million different schools.
Oh, yeah.
The good ones are getting nonstop calls, so you have to get in on it right away.
You sure do. All right, we've got some great news. Another Husker Big Ten championship to talk about. We'll tell you all about that next.
Purchasing your next car, truck, or SUV from Woodhouse Ford is easier than ever thanks to our streamlined buying process. Shop our current inventory and offers going on now and experience the convenience of buying with Woodhouse Ford today. Save up to $11,000 off MSRP on the 2023 Ford F-150 XLT plus 1.9% APR for 72 months. With approved credit, vehicle is a retired courtesy. Stock number T232516. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 3/31/2024. See dealer for details.
T&L Irrigation Company knows their way around a field and across it, into the corners, and even through storms. T&L engineers are constantly working on solutions producers need, like the new gooseneck cradle corner system attachment. It greatly improves corner span stability to tackle steep terrain and stand up to high winds. If you're looking to upgrade your corner system or add on new, call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com to learn more. T&L, like no other.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Other irrigation companies are finally discovering what T&L Irrigation is known for decades. Continuous movement is the best way to irrigate. While they'll have you pay for complicated upgrades to get steady, even water application with their high-voltage electric systems, all T&L Irrigation pivots and linears are propelled safely and smoothly by powerful hydrostatic drive. Continuous movement isn't new, it's the T&L standard. Don't get talked into a reinvented wheel. Pick the proven original. Call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com. T&L, like no other.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Woodhouse Auto Family, they are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenience sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Said going into break, we got some really good news. Husker men's gymnastics had a duel this afternoon with Ohio State. If they win that duel, they win the regular season title for the Big Ten, and they have been victorious. They put up a 418 number, which is, again, men's gym, if you get close to 420, that is a phenomenal number. So congratulations, Chuck Schmelka's team, Big Ten regular season champs.
Yeah, they're pretty special. They've done some big things all season long, broke all kinds of program records. And, you know, men's gymnastics is a little bit dominated by a couple of teams at the top, but because every score, it's 5 up, 5 count. So with women's gymnastics, if you have a fall or you have a bad score, you can drop that, you can replace that. But with men, they all count. And so every little thing matters. And so even though there's two teams that maybe dominate at the top, boy, if they have one fall, it can change everything. And so that's what kind of makes them a little bit exciting to follow, because it could come down to everybody has to hit.
Yeah, you have one miss, you're done.
So Nebraska certainly has a team that, yes, they just clinched a Big Ten title, but they could also make some noise at the NCAA championships.
Currently ranked 5th. They win today over Ohio State. It was 7th, 418.200. So, again, close to that 420 number, which is just phenomenal. It's kind of like a 198 on the women's side, to 414.50 for Ohio State. And they put 416.5 up against Illinois at the Devaney Center a couple of days ago. So they go 416.5, 418.2 in their last two duels. The Big Ten meet, which will be highly, highly competitive, is coming up on Friday, April the 5th. And then they'll be off to the NCAAs, which are back in Columbus, Ohio, which is where they competed today on April the 20th. So congratulations. That's fantastic. Good for Coach Schmelka and that team. A lot of really high-caliber gymnasts on that men's team.
And always got to love adding a Big Ten trophy to the trophy case.
There you go. Troy Dannen.
Is that 2?
It's, well, 1 for him since he's took over the job.
No, but I mean 2 this season, right? No, 3.
Volleyball,
soccer,
but yeah,
but
still
that still
counts.
And
now this.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well done. We're going to try to get somebody from that team on the air tomorrow night. They're trying to travel back. They fly commercial. They're trying to get their way back from Columbus. We'll hope to grab one of their student athletes and revel in their victory today in Columbus, Ohio. So congratulations to men's gym winning the Big Ten title. That's a great program, great history. Of course, you know, there's national championship banners hanging at Devaney for the men's gymnastics team, and I know that Coach Schmelka would love nothing more than maybe hang another one with this year's group. All right, fast, quick hour. We're not done yet. We're going to hear from Maddie Fowler-Burkhart coming up next hour. She was at the press conference today. Get her take on that. Maybe a couple softball questions or two mixed in there, and a little spring football. Jahmal Banks, the wide receiver transfer from Wake Forest. Jessica caught up with him last week. He has really impressed the coaching staff. Looks like a tremendous addition to that wide receiver room for the Cornhuskers. All that coming up next hour. Come on back.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Experience luxury car buying like never before at Genesis of Southwest Omaha. Browse our full range of SUVs or our lineup of exceptional sedans, offering unparalleled elegance and sophistication. Plus, right now, lease the 2024 Genesis GV70 2.5 Turbo All-Wheel Drive Select for $669 per month for 36 months and 10,000 miles per year. With approved credit, tax, title, and license extra. First payment, $4,999 down plus $299 doc fee due at signing. Security deposit waived. Offer expires April 1st, 2024. See dealer for details.
Did I forget something?
No, just wanted to tell you I love you. Oh, don't forget to buckle up. Drive safe.
I will. Love you too.
Someone is counting on you to buckle up. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
Good evening. I'm Cole Hartman, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Earlier today, Troy Dannen was formally introduced as athletic director at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Following the introduction, a press conference was held to address the media. In Dannen's opening remarks, he commented on what it means to win at Nebraska.
And I talked about winning in there. When people put as much time, effort, and energy into being as good as they can be, they deserve to win. They want to win academically, they want to win socially. They're committing time that as a college student, I never would have imagined I'd have been capable of doing in order to have success. That's why the 335 or 355 people rather in this department have one commitment. It is not to put themselves in a position to succeed, but it's to put those athletes in a position to succeed. We know what they do. The time, dedication, effort they give is something special. So when I come here because this is a place I know you can win. I know we can resource them. I know we can recruit them. I know we're going to be able to retain them, but we're going to be able to have success.
And you can find the full press conference from the AD at Huskers.com. It was announced this morning that tonight's midweek baseball game between Nebraska and Kansas State has been canceled due to forecasted cold weather in Manhattan. The Huskers now look to open Big Ten play this weekend as they travel to Northwestern for a 3-game series Friday through Sunday. As always, you can listen in on the action on many of our Huskers Radio Network affiliates or online at Huskers.com. Finally, Nebraska men's basketball player Blaise Keita entered his name into the transfer portal today. Keita missed all of the 2023-24 season as he rehabbed off-season ankle surgery. He is the third Husker from the team to enter the portal following the season, joining freshmen Ramel Lloyd Jr. and Eli Rice. As it stands now, there are 4 open scholarships for the 2024-25 team. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student-athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is coming up next right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Lifted to right, and drifting over near the line is Williams, and looking up, and it is gone! Wind blows it right out of here. It's a grand slam for Will Walsh. It's 5-0 Big Red.
With Ravel as Andrews swings and lifts it right field and deep. Riano going back to the wall. It's gone! Home run, Billy Andrews! And that's the new record. She is the all-time home run queen at the University of Nebraska.
Now the 2-2 from Sears. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 7 will end the 8th inning for Brett Sears, and he has gone 8 innings here on a Saturday afternoon.
The pitch from Chambers. Cope golfs one to center and deep. Going back Delgadillo, and it's gone! 3-run home run, Emerson Cope. Make it 5-2 Nebraska.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And we're back, hour number 2, Sports Nightly, on an unplanned show tonight. I hope we haven't revealed that too much to you. We thought we'd have baseball tonight in Manhattan, but as Cole mentioned in the ticker, game weathered out, just too darn cold to play down there tonight, so the Huskers and Cats are looking at maybe trying to make that game up later in the season, but nothing to announce today. We told you right at the end of last hour that Husker men's gymnastics has won a share of the Big Ten championship. They won their duel today over Ohio State, 418-200 to 414-150. First time ever Nebraska men's gym has won a regular season Big Ten championship. So that's really cool. It was one of their top 3 overall scores in school history with that 418-2-0. They had a couple of individual winners, including Sam Phillips, who won the high bar. Luke James won the floor. So they walked away with individual titles today at Columbus, Ohio. So again, congratulations to them. That is some fantastic stuff. They now get ready for the Big Ten meet, which is coming up in about 10 days. Cole mentioned this, Jessica, and we did not talk about it in the opening hour. Blaise Keita into the portal, so that's the 3rd men's player. Ramel Lloyd went in yesterday along with Eli Rice. Rice was a surprise. Lloyd was not. This one, for me, is kind of in between. I'm not shocked, but I'm kind of like, He just always was having injury issues here. I just don't know what purpose he thinks he's going to gain by getting in the portal.
Yeah, although I don't know at this point, maybe he doesn't fit as much.
Maybe not.
You know? I mean, certainly his size and what he can do on the defensive end is a big presence, but he just, his growth has just been hindered because of those injuries. He's just been plagued by those injuries since he's been here. So, I mean, you just don't know how good he could be because we just have not seen him consistently out on the court.
And they sure rave about Matar. And so maybe he's sensing, Matar's going to be the next guy up and going to chip away at my minutes. Because I think even one of our last shows with Coach, somebody asked most improved player, and he said it was Matar, was the most improved player since when they got together in the fall.
Well, his athleticism is just off the charts, and they knew that he was pretty green, but that, he could really make some leaps and bounds and really maybe develop into a nice player. And a lot of times that happens on the scout team when you are just having to guard and match up with Josiah or Rank all the time. And Jawan, you're just got to do whatever you can do on the scout team. And he can really take off. And probably the first time he's really just been able to hone in and get that kind of development. And this coaching staff is really good at developing talent. I mean, look at Casey.
Right.
Casey has also developed into, he was just strictly a shooter. And now he can do a lot of different things. There are a lot of, look at Juwan Gary. Juwan Gary was not a great offensive weapon when he got here, and he's really grown into that role as well. So, they can really, I think, get their hands on somebody and mold them. And I think Matar is a perfect example of that.
I agree. I'm ready for kind of a social post saying I'm back from somebody. I'm ready. One of them. Somebody. Pull the trigger, Jawan. Rink.
Well, we should go hit up the social crew because sometimes they start working on those videos for them.
I'm ready. Anytime you guys one of you wants to come up and say
because we're just hearing we're going into the portal news. Let's see,
somebody
we're coming
say,
back.
I'm staying. I'm back. So crazy. All right. Earlier today, we had the press conference for Troy Dannen, and prior to that, it was kind of the formal introduction of Troy as Nebraska's 17th athletic director. So all the staff was there. A lot of the coaches were there. Even a member of the staff for athletics and also for us is Maddie Fowler-Burkhardt. She works in the development office for Husker Athletics, but also doubles up working with Nate Rohr on our softball broadcast. Jessica caught up with Maddie earlier today to pick her brain about this and also a little softball question or two in there.
What are your first impressions of Troy Dannen?
He's been busy. I think he talked about that today. Really hit the ground running, which is roll up your sleeves and get to work. It's the Nebraska way. So when he was hired, he said he came here, went to football practice, then got to go to Memphis, Corvallis. I saw him at the softball game when I was up in the booth. We had a snow delay, so it was a little chaotic of a game, but he's gotten to work, and we're excited to all continue to learn what his vision is and keep working for Nebraska.
Yeah, it'll be a process, right? But as a former student athlete here and now someone that works in the athletics department, what are some of the things that you liked about maybe some of his visions and what he maybe sees in the future here?
Yeah, he talked a lot about recruitment and retainment, that you want to attract talented people and you want to keep talented people, and that applies to student athletes, to coaches, to staff, and that I think really speaks volumes to everyone. That speaks volumes to me as a former student athlete. And he talked about that we're going to win on the field, and then we're going to win for 40 years after for our student athletes, and that's really important because it was a pivotal time in my life when I was a student athlete here, and it's what shapes you. It's what shapes the next 40 years of your life. It shapes you as a leader. There's so much adversity that you face. You really need to be surrounded by people who are in your corner, and Nebraska did that for me, and that's why I love working here, is because I can hopefully continue to give back to student athletes so they also have a similar experience.
You guys in the development office have a new addition to your staff, a familiar name. Nick Henrich is working for you guys.
We do. We have an intern by the name of Nick that a lot of Husker Nation knows, and he has been so fun to work with. He came to us because he had a dream of being a pro football player, and unfortunately had an injury-ridden career at the end, had some knee injuries injuries. We bonded over that. I had some knee injuries myself, and he said he just wants to be close to college athletics and wanted to see, you know, what it looks like on this side of the house. And he's got a big personality. He is really passionate about Nebraska and how you can help support the program. So he's an intern this semester for us in the development office. If you call in, you might get him on the phones, but he's just really showing up every day with the work ethic that you would expect of a former student athlete and a former Husker football.
Okay, let's talk some sports now. First of all, the women's basketball tournament. When you just mentioned the volleyball day, but just you're seeing the sellout arenas. The Huskers just played in a sellout arena on Sunday, but just how much has exploded? And we've had this conversation, but it's got to continue to be special for you to see.
It's so fun. I saw a chart on ESPN last night of the viewership, and it was just perfect exponential growth, you know, all the way straight up. And it's, you know, watching all of these primetime games, you know, last night, I mean, it went from good game to good game to good game with names that you know, and I think that's really exciting, and just the growth. And it's early in the tournament, it's only going to get more exciting. And, you know, Nebraska had their own sellout game, and when they beat Iowa at home, and just more records that we're continuing to break. But it's, yeah, as a women's sports fan, as a female student athlete, it really tugs on the heartstrings, because it feels like it's been groundwork that has been laid by other generations, and you're finally starting to see that really take off.
All right, let's talk about the Huskers' new home run queen, Billie Andrews, on top of the program records. We knew it was coming. It was just a matter of when it was going to happen. She breaks it over the weekend. How special was it for you to see her to take over that record?
It's so emotional. I started to get teary-eyed when she tied the record, and you knew it was coming. And I love that it's a local kid, a kid from Gretna, who now sits atop our record books for softball. She's just such a special talent. I mean, the fact that she hits for power, that she can, you know, hit and have speed and steal bases. I mean, just a freak athlete, and just really proud that she's a Husker, that she stayed home, and she's not done. She's going to keep rewriting the record books. There's so many other records that she's in top 5 career, single season. So just I think she's having an all-American season, and just really proud that she's a Husker.
How have you seen her game grow? I mean, I remember she was one of the first players you told me about when I got here, and then here she is now, as you mentioned, on an all-American track. Just how much have you seen her grow and progress in her game?
The most impressive thing to me about Billie, and I loved that her home run, the record-breaking home run, was to right field. I mean, it was barely inside the right field foul pole, and she hits to all fields so well. And the other thing I love about her is she hits good pitching almost better. So you see her when we play the best teams, when we played UCLA earlier this year, when they played Washington. I mean, she hits good pitching, and she always just rises to the occasion. And I mean, I would just be so frustrated if I had to pitch to her, because she doesn't have a weak spot. She can sit on changeup, she can hit the hard stuff, she has good patience and discipline at the plate, and it'd be really easy for her to get, you know, a little bit ahead of herself when you're trying to chase that record down, and she never wavered and just stayed herself. And Billie just wants to ball, and that's what's really cool.
The beginning of the season suffered a really tough blow with Jordy Ball. How have you liked the way they've responded so far and heading into Big Ten play?
Yeah, Coach Revelle says a lot that it's not pitch by committee, it's pitch by strategy, and you've seen different people stepping up. Caitlin Olensky, a freshman, has really put some good innings together, and somebody who maybe didn't think she was going to contribute this much, but when you're handed the ball, it starts in the circle and you got to go. And then I think the offense has responded well and know that, hey, we might need to score a few more runs, and that's okay. We're going to be aggressive, and we're going to get it done.
How much do you think this team still can absolutely compete for a Big Ten title this year?
The Big Ten is wide open this year. It's kind of bizarre that there's not, I couldn't tell you who the top 3 teams are, because every single day it kind of changes, so it's wide open. That's always a goal at the end of the season, is to compete for a Big Ten championship, and got a great start with 2 wins at home to kick off Big Ten, and they need to keep that momentum going, because like I said, it's something that is completely attainable for this team.
I haven't had a chance to talk to you, but you go into the stadium, you see the expansion, the new seats that were required. I mean, how did that hit for you, seeing, you know, again, the continued growth for your program and where it is now?
Yeah, wall-to-wall just seats. I mean, added over 1,000 seats, and that first game they had at home, I mean, there was over 2,000 people there. I mean, so broke a record the first home game of the year, and just really special to see the support, see people continue to show up, and that's what Huskers do, right? They answer the call. If you build it, they will come.
All right, and you had some lots of radio time over the weekend. You and Nate filled some airtime.
We called it some snow delay theater that we did. I think we were on the air for over 4.5 hours, but it literally looked like a Green Bay football game at first because the snow was flying sideways, and then temperatures stayed low, but the snow disappeared and they got to play. But yeah, Nate and I covered a lot of topics, so we have a lot of fun though, and I feel very fortunate to get to do home game radio with him. He's someone who's very important to me because of what he's poured in to the Husker softball program, so it's really cool to be on that side of the house and get to sit up in the booth with him.
Maddie, thanks.
You bet.
You can ask her about so many different things.
Sure.
But, obviously her perspective with Troy Dannen coming in, she'll be a, key piece to working with the development part of it. And then as a former student athlete. But how about her talking about Nick Henrich and what Nick Henrich has brought to the development?
I'll be darned. I could see him doing that.
Fantastic. So, not surprising, but.
He's not shy.
I guess for me, maybe I thought coaching, but for him, but I was watching him today and, there's a bunch of different donors there and stuff, and boy, he's mingling, and he's got such a great personality, and you can just tell just how much he loves this place. He wants to do what he can, and now in this new role.
You told me that. I was shocked. I did not know he was doing that.
Yeah.
I had no clue he was over there doing that.
But
good for him.
Yeah, he was in a suit today. Yeah.
He's got that deep voice. He'll be fine with that. All right, we are going to talk a little football. Speaking of Nick Henrich, Huskers have had not one but two of their spring practices already. And one of the young guys that really caught the coach's attention over the winter months was the transfer from Wake Forest, wide receiver Jahmal Banks. Jessica talked to him last week. We'll play that for you next.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground-truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Woodhouse GMC is bringing you more for the new year. With every new GMC purchase from Woodhouse, we're including 3 years of scheduled maintenance. Plus, with our current lease offers going on now, you'll save even more. Lease a 2024 GMC Terrain SLE for $389 a month for 39 months, 10,000 miles per year. Woodhouse GMC. We are professional grade. With approved credit. Must finance with GM Financial. Must currently lease a 2019 or newer GM vehicle to qualify. $1,995 down payment and first payment plus $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires April 1st, 2024. See dealer for details.
A few drinks at home after work, a couple of hits at a party with some friends, over-the-counter drugs for a minor illness, a new daily prescription, and you're not quite sure how it makes you feel. It doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If it impairs you, driving becomes deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
T&L Irrigation Company knows their way around a field and across it, into the corners, and even through storms. T&L engineers are constantly working on solutions producers need, like the new gooseneck cradle corner system attachment. It greatly improves corner span stability to tackle steep terrain and stand up to high winds. If you're looking to upgrade your corner system or add on new, call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com to learn more. T&L, like no other.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Spring football is underway. Huskers had their first practice on Monday, their second practice today. They held kind of a pre-spring presser last week before all the basketball got cranked up, and just got a chance to catch up with one of the off-season stars, a new addition to the program, a wide receiver transfer from Wake Forest, Jahmal Banks. Here's that conversation.
How you liking Nebraska? How's it treating you?
Yeah, I love Nebraska. Like I said, some great people, genuine people. We get down to business, you know what I'm saying? We got purpose, we got a plan, and, you know, we are process and purpose driven, and something that I wanted to be a part of, and I'm glad I came here. I'm also getting my master's, so working with the academic staff and meeting new people has been amazing as well.
What are you getting your master's in?
Entrepreneurship and leadership.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to your decision to transfer here. What went into that? Why was Nebraska the fit for you?
Offensively, and where I wanted to be as a receiver. For like the NFL coaching staff, and, you know, where they saw me in their vision, you know, to be successful was huge for me. The strength staff, also, you know, formerly in the NFL, knows what it takes as far as development of the body and the skill set. And then just being here, you know, I spent some times with the players, and you know, they really showed me why they wanted me here and why I could help them, and so that's why I ended up choosing Nebraska. And then the fan base, of course, like just like the atmosphere here. You know, they love athletics, and they're behind us. Well, either way.
You know, we've got a lot of young receivers. You're a veteran receiver. You've played a lot of ball. What was that approach like coming into this wide receivers room and being maybe a leader for that group?
Yeah, it was something that, like, I wanted to take ownership of, not just for them, but for myself. Like, you know, I'm a veteran, but I also want to learn from them. And just paying that forward, like, I'm here for them, and I think it's going to be beneficial to the program in the long run. Being able to show that humility and then just sacrifice for each other. But it's something I'm also learning from them as far as the plays. I know they've been here for a little minute, and but it's something I'm excited about. And we've already built, you know, strong relationships, and we just continue to grow.
How's it been working with Garrett McGuire?
Well, it's fun. I love him. He's a great dude. He cares about us just as much as he cares about his mom and his father. And then he just knows football. You know, he's real smart. And he wants us to be the best we can be, and he pushes us every day.
Love that. How was the first off season? The first going through the mat drills? How did you like that? How much did you grow? How much did it push you?
Yeah, first 7 to 8 weeks was it was a grind, but we attacked it, and I think we talk about it, embracing the suck. We just embraced it. You know, we were there for each other. It was hard, but you know, that's what I came in for. I came to get better. I pushed myself, and I was pushed by my teammates. You know, I didn't want to let anybody down, especially not myself. But it was good. Mat drills. We ended out on the main field at night, and we're setting ourselves up for success in the fall when we play those big time games. But first 7 to 8 weeks, I got a lot better. I hit some PRs in the weight room. Got faster and more explosive.
You know, one of the things that we saw this team, they really developed the chemistry and the brotherhood. It really started during this time a year ago. How has that gone so far? You know, I know it's a progress all the way up until you kick things off, but just during this time, how has that progressed so far? Yeah,
it's progressed well. I'd say the biggest thing was holding each other accountable. You know what I'm saying? When we weren't holding the standard. I mean, we even talked about it today. There was, you know, something happened during the workout, and we got to be player-led, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes there's a lack of that, and but that's something that we're working towards. And just the sacrifice, unconditional love, and accountability, that's huge in our commitment to each other, you know what I'm saying, to where we want to be. But we got to live like it now. We got to walk it. And so that's something that has been getting a lot better, and, you know, changing the culture, raising the standard.
How's it been working with the quarterbacks?
It's good. They love getting out here throwing the ball. They even got a little graded system on how they throw it. They give us a number, but it's fun. They're great people, and they just want to get better. They want to, you know, make the right throws, reads, and just help the team.
For you and going into this spring ball, what are your goals? What do you need to improve? Where are you trying to target yourself to improve your game before, you know, you guys go into summer and then the season?
Yeah, better explosion in and out the breaks. Yards after catch, and just at spring ball, just knowing the playbook a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Being able to get thrown in the fire and click, and knowing that I'm gonna make mistakes, but having that, you know, what's the next mentality, for sure.
How has it been getting back out onto the field? You know, I know the first few practices don't have pads, but you've been working hard in the weight room. How good does it feel to get back on a football field and be playing football again?
I'm super excited. It's gonna feel amazing, and then just to be out there with my teammates, who you know, all the sweat equity we put in, just to see that translate to the field, it's gonna be fun.
You enjoy spring ball?
I do. Yeah, I enjoy football. Yeah. So.
Great stuff. You're going to be a go-to interview, I can already tell. Appreciate your time.
For sure. I appreciate y'all as well.
I tried to tell you he's a big dude.
Wow.
6'5". He's 6'5".
What a target, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for whoever the quarterback ends up being, what a target.
But you can just hear with his answers, he's you know, very cerebral and very mature and driven, motivated. I think he's the perfect addition for what that wide receiver room needed, having lost some of those older veteran guys with so much young talent in there, to be able to have a guy that's played a lot of ball and has already proven himself. But I love his approach. I thought he just was. I was blown away with after his interview. I was like, okay, that's going to be a guy.
Coaches have raved about him. He's done everything right. He's been doing all those events where they gather points by showing up at certain things and, you know, checking the boxes. So he has jumped right in and been a part of it. I don't think that's the case with all of the newcomers, but with Jahmal, he has done it.
You know, that night that they had the on National Girls and Women in Sports Day, and they had some of those football players that were there helping, and Johnson & Johnson were there giving me a hard time. Jahmal Banks was there helping out. So he is one of those guys that already hopping in, and not even just with just the football requirements, but wanting to get involved with the other athletics events that are happening. I think he really has embraced it and really has liked his time here in Lincoln.
We're going to hear from Marquise Buford tomorrow night. He was the young man that was hurt for most of last season. The Huskers played him in the final 4 games, but saved his red shirt. One of our favorite guys. We'll hear from him tomorrow night on the program. The next media availability will be after their Thursday practice, which will be practice 3. The head coach will meet with the media after that practice. Cannot wait to hear that practice report coming up on Thursday night. Art in Los Angeles, one of our favorite guys on our text line, Jessica, he did mention that He's back in that Powerball
Oh,
appearance
here we go.
again.
Okay.
He got his Mega Millions ticket tonight. It's $1.2 billion. So,
Wow.
I mean, it's just a chump change. And he says, have not forgotten you guys. So Cole gets a new car if he wins this thing. Jessica, you get a house.
Nice.
He hasn't decided on me. At one point, it was going to be a washing machine. That seems like a bit of a come
You need
down.
a new snowblower now. Didn't you?
I got it fixed.
Oh, you got it fixed?
Yeah, it ran for the last couple of days. I had to use it. But it seems like you guys get a house and a car, and I got a washing machine?
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
Is he going to the same gas station that it won last year?
Art, you're going to have to tell us that. So,
And maybe you should go get a couple of different options and stop by a few of the gas stations there.
He lives out there in Los Angeles, and a couple of the big winners have been out there. So good luck, Art. We'll be hoping the numbers come your way tonight. Tim in Norfolk on our text line said, we need a big man, say a 6'10", 7-foot-inch guy who is pretty athletic and can get the rebounds. Is that asking too much, or is that the wrong way to look at it? Tim, everybody wants bigs. I mean, they're not a lot of them. They're hard to find. But I think, if Rink comes back, that's a big to start with. And we talked about Matar making great strides last year. Yes, we need to replace Josiah, and I think they know they need to go find one more big body.
It's just not where the game is anymore. Not everybody has a big man. And while I understand that it was a tough matchup against Texas A&M, it wasn't so much. I didn't think that it was because they were bigger and more physical. It was because they freaking were hitting every shot that they threw up.
Correct.
So I don't necessarily think that was the reason why we couldn't advance in the NCAA tournament. I think that you caught Texas A&M on a really hot night, and it was tough going from there. But they obviously didn't have any issues beating Purdue.
Correct.
So I don't know if it's absolute. Yes, you need another big body because you're losing Josiah Alec, and you need someone that crashes the boards and does some of that stuff. But I don't know if it's like, oh, you got to have like a Zach Edey. It just is not where the game is. There's just not a lot of those guys anymore.
And it's not the way Fred sets up his offense. He wants his bigs to be able to step out on the floor and shoot, or be great passers like Derek Walker
or
was.
Dribble it down the floor in pressure, to handle the ball.
Yeah.
So.
But they do need a bigger body, Tim. You're right, because of Josiah's using up his eligibility. They know that. That's on one of the top parts of their list, and I have faith they're going to find that. There's so many of those options in the portal right now. Keep those texts coming. Love them. 402-413-2400. That is our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline. They are your trusted partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. That's where Cole's going to be going shopping once Art wins that lotto out in Los Angeles tonight. We're back with more of the show coming up next.
Are you ready? It's Ford Truck Month, and we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series, including the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the North American Truck of the Year. It's time to celebrate America. This is Ford Truck Month. Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on F-150 plus a 5-year 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Don't miss out on limited-time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 1/4 through 1/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
I just remember leaving that day feeling absolutely exhausted. I was sick and tired of living that double life.
Mike is a former problem gambler.
The anxiety, the depression is real. You start thinking about the money, where that could have went to. It's never enough. I could win $10 million today, and I'd go back and try to win 20 tomorrow.
Help for problem gambling is free for Nebraskans and their families at lifeafterbet.com.
Not Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside-Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Not Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Not Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Are you ready? It's Ford Truck Month, and we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series, including the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the North American Truck of the Year. It's time to celebrate America. This is Ford Truck Month. Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on F-150 plus a 5-year 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you here on a Tuesday night unplanned show. We thought we'd have baseball tonight, but weathered out in Manhattan for the Huskers, so they will take the field again Friday in Chicago against the Northwestern Wildcats. People are playing the lottery, I guess, a lot. John in Omaha says if he wins Mega Millions tonight, he's going to give me a well-appointed cabin at the location of my choice.
Oh.
It's the least I can do for all the entertainment you all bring me each night. Jessica, I'm going to get you the funds for an on-call pet care anytime you need.
Oh.
Sonny will be taken care of.
I love that. I love that. We probably should throw in maybe a request for like some golf, something golf. You know, like...
A golf package?
Yeah. Maybe a membership for all of us somewhere.
Do you know Cole's a lefty?
Yes, because he has to use your right-handed putter over there.
Well, he can bring his putter in. We have a putting green in here, and it's been there like a year, and he hasn't brought his putter in.
He just putts with the right-handed putter. He turns it around.
Dennis on our text line said, I'd like the men's basketball team to improve their road record. So would Fred Hoiberg. He would agree with you on that. And get about 4 more wins and, of course, get more shooters. Yeah, that's on their list, too, because they lose Casey. So they know they have to replace Casey and Joe Alec. Those are the two. See, that's a big and a shooter. Those are 2 things on their list.
Yeah, and we're still waiting to hear from C.J. Wilcher because he did go through the senior night ceremony. And a lot of that was because they allow you to do that if you've graduated and he got his degree. But if for some reason CJ doesn't come back for his final year, that's another shooter. Those are your 2 shooters right there that are your threats from the 3-point. And Jamarcus Lawrence improved on that as the year went along. But, yeah, I think that's got to be – last year we were sitting here having this conversation and we were saying you got to get a point guard, got to get a point guard. This year I think we're sitting here saying you got to get a shooter, because you have just – got to have somebody from the outside that can stretch the floor and knock it down from the outside when you have guys like Rink Mass that can really draw guys in.
That's why the Eli thing hurt, because he's a good shooter.
Yeah.
He would have been able to do so. And I think the young kid from Wisconsin's got a chance, because it sounds like he can really stroke it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, if true freshman, that's a hard jump, but
And he's a lefty, which those lefties, you know.
I don't trust him.
But there's something about, and also, you know, the pick and roll, coming off that pick and roll, that's where Casey was so good with Derek Walker and was so good with Rink Mass last year. It just, you have to choose. You have to pick and choose which one. And so you got to get a guy that can play off that pick and roll, that's for sure.
I know we're going to hear from Tyler Kai, who works in the development office, in a minute, but there's a big change coming to the National Football League. If you all came to our spring football game last year, Matt Rule had the team line up in a goofy formation for kickoffs where guys were like staggered 10 yards apart. Remember that last year? That's what the NFL is going to do with kickoffs. They have passed it 29-3. It will now go on to the full committee, but it looks like it's going to pass. The new alignment rules represent the biggest change on the field in the NFL in years, and it's going to line up like we talked about. The kickers will still stay at the 35-yard line, but the other 10 players on the kickoff team will line up at the receiving team's 40. So they'll go across midfield, line up at the 40. At least 9 members of the return team have to line up in the setup zone between the 35 and the 30. So they're only going to be about 7 or 8 yards apart. So they're still going to collide, but the collisions will be much tamer because you can't get a 30-yard head start to go ram into somebody.
Wow. Wasn't that, was that like an Arena League thing or something? I think it was. Ed Foley had said that it was something that had been done that they wanted to try out that, but yeah, I remember that.
Only the kicker and the returner can move until the ball either hits the ground or a player touches it.
Huh.
So all those guys standing 8 yards apart from each other can't move until the guy touches the football back in the kick.
Wow.
And this says you cannot fair catch. So the ball can go out of the back of the end zone and you let it go, but you can't just fair catch and catch it. How about that? That's bizarre. Now you
so that takes away some of the, which is still with punts, you'll still have, which is where you see the most decision, but some of those decision making of do I run it, do I, you know.
Do I come out or do I go to a knee, can't fair catch anymore. So those are big, big changes. If you want an onside kick, you have to go back to the traditional style. You can still onside kick, but you have to declare it and go back and line up like you normally do.
Which takes away the surprise element out of it.
No surprise. So they're going to go, they're onside kicking.
Yeah.
Let's get ready for it.
Which most of the time, you know, they're doing it anyways, but
Correct.
still. Yeah.
This is a philosophy that they kind of stolen from the XFL. So, and I think Ed Foley has talked about this, but that's going to be bizarre. One team lined up at the 40 and the other team lined up between the 30 and the 35. So they're going to be staring at each other and then just go quickly pop. Pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. Also pretty cool is Troy Dannen today pointed out to a member of the Husker development staff, Tyler Kai, who came to Lincoln a couple years ago from Tulane, his boss was Troy Dannen. And Troy recognized Tyler and said, I knew he was a great young man. He came and told me he had an opportunity to go to Nebraska, and I told him to take that job. Well, Jessica caught up with Tyler today to talk about his old and now current boss.
How cool was that to hear you get a shout out there?
Well, very flattering. I commented to Troy, I wish he wouldn't have done that, but he was very good to me. Obviously, we had a great working relationship at Tulane. I'm grateful for what he did for me and helping me grow as a fundraiser and supporting our fundraising initiatives at Tulane. So, yeah, I'm elated to have him here and to be working with him again because I worked for him for 5 years down at Tulane in New Orleans.
So tell us your version of that story, how it went down.
Yeah, it was pretty close to what he said. So I have a young family, and I was really contemplating leaving Tulane. I loved working at Tulane, loved working for him. And when an opportunity at Nebraska came, I came into his office and I sat down and I said, hey, listen, Troy, I've got this opportunity in Nebraska. I think I'm going to get an opportunity to get an offer. And he said, listen, if Nebraska ever offers you a job, you take the job. It's Nebraska. And so I think he did the same thing, right? I think that when an opportunity in Nebraska came available and he was trying to weigh his options, that he took his exact same advice that he gave me 3 years ago.
So you work with him, you have extensive, some knowledge of what he brings to an athletics department. What makes him the right leader for the Huskers right now?
Yeah, I think the way that he says it best, and he actually was just talking about it too, is that he views himself as a snowplow. He wants to push things out of the way so the people in the department have the autonomy and the vision to be able to do what they need to do. So he's very much about empowering people and empowering his team to do what they need to do to be successful and win.
What can Husker fans expect from him, and what he's going to bring here to Nebraska?
Yeah, he shook a lot of hands in Memphis. I was in Memphis with him for the NCAA tournament. Approachable. I think Troy's always very approachable. Don't hesitate to say hello to him. He'll say hello to you. I mean, he's a Midwest guy, so he's got Midwest values. So I think that's probably the biggest attribute he's got.
I thought that was a cool perspective. You know, You heard him say his name, but then his story about going in there and saying, hey, I got this job offer, and Troy at the time said, hey, it's Nebraska. You take that job. And then here he is. He's taking his own advice. But, he's worked with them. He knows. So a lot of us here are getting to know Troy for the first time that within the athletics department. But here's someone that worked with him and can speak and said that I love working for him. And it was hard for me to leave, but it was Nebraska.
What a great ringing endorsement. Tyler's an outstanding young guy. I'm glad he's a part of our athletic department. He's been here a couple years now, and I've gone on some dinners with him on some road trips and with some boosters, and he's just fantastic with our boosters and our fans. And so for him to rave about Troy Dannen, that means something to me. So glad you're able to catch up with him. And who better to talk to than somebody who's worked for the guy for 5 years? So that's good stuff right there.
Yeah, because we're all sitting here, we don't know, I mean, we can only say what we've seen. Matt Rule knows him, obviously, but the rest of the people within the athletics department, you're kind of getting a feel for it.
Sure.
We went through that with Trev. Some people, it's a little bit different because he was a student athlete here, and some people had worked with him and knew him.
Yeah.
But he was kind of figuring out how an athletics director moves and his vision and what he wants. But here's a guy that was there and worked with him for several years and has that perspective.
Fantastic. Good work there. We're talking to Tyler earlier today. All right, 402-413-2400. The number if you want to fire off a text. A few minutes left in the program. We're back to wrap up tonight's little show next.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground-truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trail-Tamin 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Are you ready? It's Ford Truck Month, and we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series, including the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the North American Truck of the Year. It's time to celebrate, America. This is Ford Truck Month. Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on F-150 plus a 5-year 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Woodhouse Auto Family, they are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenience sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Just a couple minutes left in the program here on a Tuesday night. Full show tomorrow night. We're going to hear from Marquise Buford. We're we're working right now to try to get somebody from men's gymnastics after they clinched a share of the Big Ten regular season title this afternoon. They won a duel against Ohio State. Congratulations to Chuck Schmelke's squad. First time men's gym has won a Big Ten conference title. Obviously, they dominated the Big 8, Big 12 back in the days, but had not won a Big Ten regular season title, so they get that done here in 2024. And for Troy Dannen, he's been on the job like 3 days. He's got a Big Ten winner already under his belt. That's pretty cool.
Which we were just doing some research, and boy, the Huskers are there in the top of. It's pretty spread out between schools in the Big Ten that have won Big Ten titles, and Huskers are right up there in the top tier of teams.
Because we got women's soccer had a share, right, of the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Volleyball. And now men's
gymnastics. And so you got to think track and field certainly will be one of the favorites to win an outdoor title. Men's gymnastics still can win their championships.
They could get the double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I did count the doubles, both the regular season and the tournaments. And then, hey, baseball, softball, you never know.
They both have shots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's still some cracks here yet in this 23-24 school year for Nebraska to get some more Big Ten
When's the last time the Huskers won 5 Big Ten titles?
Boy, I'd have to go back and look. It's been a while. Been a while, yeah. All right, again, full show for you coming your way tomorrow night. Sam in Omaha wants to know if we'll play Nebraska in case they play a doubleheader when they come up here. No, they won't do that. They're trying to find a date for Nebraska to slip back down to Manhattan, Sam, but that may be difficult. There's just a lot of challenges. You've kind of got your midweeks already set up with games with Creighton and Kansas and the return game by K-State. They'll try, but I'm not sure they can get that done. Doug in Norfolk wants to know who are the top contenders in the Big Ten for baseball along with Nebraska. Rutgers looks really good early. They won again today. Maryland is right near the top. Iowa, Indiana, the two teams that were picked preseason 1 and 2 have been very disappointing. So I would throw Maryland, Rutgers, and Nebraska right now as kind of the favorites on the baseball side.
You feel like this team has the makeup to go get it done?
I think they do. They've got kind of the right schedule too. Their tougher ones are at home. Their more winnable road series are on the road. More winnable games are on the road. So you love the fact you can win at home and go take care of business on the road.
I love what Coach Bolt said last night?
Last night.
The show when someone had texted in about the small ball and the other ways that they're finding to produce at the plate. And he said, we just had so many power hitters last year. We're just finding other ways. And a lot of times the guys don't always buy into that, wanting to be a part of that. And so the fact that they're just finding other ways, whatever they can do. And there's so many different guys. I feel like every weekend we're talking about somebody different that's been the star of the weekend.
It's a different guy every game that steps up and kind of leads them with 3 hits or whatever. Well, last year you had Max and Bryce. You hit over 100 home runs as a team. They're not going to do that this year, but they're patient. They draw walks. They're stealing more bases. And I think that's the way that the formula is for them to win. And they've got a lot more pitching depth. So if somebody's not on, they don't waste time. They'll get somebody else up in the bullpen and roll back through it. It's kind of exciting to watch all the different guys get chances to play.
And it just takes both. I mean, you've got to be able. You can't just run through it with just a good offensive team or a good pitching. I mean, you have to have both.
That's right. You're going to talk to Billy Andrews, who set the home run mark last week in their series with Illinois. You're going to catch up with her later in the week.
Yeah, you just heard Maddie Burkhart talking about how she doesn't swing at bad pitches, even against the best pitchers. She's still hitting really well. She's special, and not just what she does at the plate, but she's been the starting shortstop her entire career. So she's the home run queen and she has more records that she could even get this season. So we're going to finally get a chance to sit down and chat with her on Thursday.
What a great career. She has just put together a terrific career. And, she was injured in the fall, had some surgical work done, but she's back playing great this spring. And they head to Wisconsin for a 3-game series this weekend. They went 2-0 with Illinois, got the Sunday game weathered out, but they'll try to get 3 up in Madison over the weekend. And, I know it's been disappointing with Jordy going down, but they still have a shot to really be competitive in the league. There's not a clear-cut favorite in the league in softball. There's nobody ranked right now in the Big Ten in softball, so it's there for the taking.
And Northwestern had a ton of seniors that left, and so, that's what Maddie said earlier. I mean, it is wide open, so the Huskers certainly still have an opportunity to be right there at the top of the Big Ten when this thing is all said and done.
Should be fun. All right, great show tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll get it all full, hoping to talk to somebody from Men's Gym, Marquise Buford. We will hear from him, and we'll have all the day's headlines headed your way tomorrow night on the program. Thanks to Cole for sticking around with us tonight and running the show. You all have a great night. We're back tomorrow with another 2 hours of excitement of Husker sports.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
That's the best way I could describe how it felt for me when I would walk out of either the casino or the Keno parlor, is that you just felt that wave of heat, that wave of oppression kind of hit you, that wave of dread.
Mike is a former problem gambler.
Right away, you would always know that that drive home would be the worst moments of why. Why did I do this again? Why can't I stop this?
Help for problem gambling is free for Nebraskans and their families at lifeafterbet.com.
Not Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Not Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Not Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska